and we're here to help you get there. With advice you can use to make smarter money decisions. Because the ones we make today shape the realities we live with tomorrow.
Welcome back to Storm Watch. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's time to take a look at our tropical update. Let's start off by taking a look at some climatological information, let's say. Over the last 100 years, we have noticed that in the middle of October, we seem to get a little spike in the activity across the Atlantic basin, and that's exactly what we've seen here over the last several days. Now, it's not a spike as in a lot of storms, but nonetheless enough to get Nicholas out of this. So certainly, climatologically speaking, we're right on target, I'd say. The next one is Odette, but right now what we're dealing with is Nicholas. And a much closer look at Nicholas shows that it's still not well together. It's not exactly what you can say, oh, there's the center of the storm. It's actually a little difficult right now to find where the center of the storm is. But there is one thing you can notice is that fan flare, that flaring of the clouds. So there's some pretty good strong strength, some winds within it that are strong enough to do so. But the winds are up to 65 miles per hour. Still a ways from becoming a hurricane. Nonetheless, that chance to see this become a hurricane is not being ruled out. Winds right now, as I mentioned, are 65 miles per hour. It has to be 74 in order to be a hurricane. It's moving to the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. It's still a ways away from land, 790 miles east of the Windward Islands. Here's the Windward Islands, and you'll see the distance is still a lot, and we're not expecting it to even come close. In fact, over the next 72 hours, you can see it's still going to be well out to sea. So the main concern over the weekend is mainly a marine concern. As far as anyone on shore, on land, no problems with this one here. Here's what we are seeing, though, a little further to the west, you'd say. We do have right around Central America, we have a little rotation developing and still some thunderstorms that we've dealt with over the last 24 hours, bringing in some rains. But overall, no development for the rest of the Caribbean, and even in the Gulf of Mexico. It's fairly quiet right now. Things are very strong. Those winds coming in from the southwest, you can see that movement. Those upper winds have been on the strong side, not allowing for any development. There's the little rotation. It's a little hard to see. It's right just to the south of Guatemala, a little spin in the atmosphere, and some convection. What we need is a lot more convection and the continuation of the spin to see possibly something develop. Without the convection, all we have is just a spin, and that's about it. Not a surface low, not an area that's susceptible to development here in the next 12 to 24 hours, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, a little closer to home. Boy, look at the rain just coming in. Oh, it just doesn't want to stop. The Olympia Peninsula still sitting under gully washers tonight. Certainly a night that you may want to stay indoors, and it's going to stay that way through the weekend. More rain is on tap for you here. St. Louis, we've seen about ½ an inch of rain so far, and the rain continues to slowly move east. We'll get a little more rain before it's all said and done. We'll give you details after this.
It's easy to access weather.com on America Online. Just enter keyword weather or point and click. It's so simple you can quickly check the weather online and still have plenty of time left over to get outside and enjoy it. Weather.com on America Online. Keyword weather.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station or
something inside drives you to outperform, to outmaneuver, to take control, to dig in.
And it's getting closer to Windward Islands, but the track is off towards the northwest, so it's going to miss the Windward Islands. It's 780 miles from the Windward Islands. It is moving northwest at 8, and the pressure's at 995 millibars. This does not change that much from the last advisory. As a matter of fact, the new forecast doesn't make it a hurricane. Gets close to a hurricane, but keeps it as a tropical storm, very strong one, and keeps it on that northwesterly track. Right now, again, the winds are at 65 miles per hour. Again, this is a strong tropical storm. And one reason it really hasn't had a chance to develop is because we have some pretty strong southwest winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it's shearing the storm, and it's having a hard time really developing. But you can see some of the convection trying to wrap around here, so we'll keep a close eye on it. Again, there is some room for intensification, but at least right now it's still just tropical storm, and again, it's going to continue on that northwest track. Now, the rest of the Atlantic basin is very quiet. We have a cold front that has pushed through Bermuda, and with that front in the area, we don't have to worry about the Atlantic. The Gulf of Mexico is quiet. The Caribbean is quiet. We had one area of low pressure work across Central America. Now it's in the eastern Pacific, and we'll have to watch this area right in here for possible tropical development. Otherwise, if you're heading up here towards Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, quiet as can be. Boy, you picked a good week for a cruise. That's it for your tropical update. Nick?
Europe's heat wave this summer helped one U.S. firm to some cool profits. Linda Bell has details in the Bloomberg Money Barometer.
Good morning. The weather impacted sales and earnings at a number of companies in the third quarter. Coca-Cola, the world's largest soft drink maker, said third quarter profit rose 12%. The volume of drinks shipped jumped 9% in Europe, helped by temperatures as much as 11 degrees more than average in cities including Paris. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola Enterprises, the world's largest soft drink bottler, said third quarter earnings jumped 36%, more than analysts forecast. The number of drinks sold increased 10% in Europe amid record high summer temperatures. Meanwhile, two insurance companies were able to report higher profits despite losses from Hurricane Isabel. Travelers Property Casualty said third quarter profit rose 28% as the company increased prices. The company said it lost $73.2 million from Hurricane Isabel. And finally, Allstate said third quarter profit more than doubled, boosted by a year of rate increases. Losses from Hurricane Isabel and other severe storms came in at $378 million in the quarter. For the Weather Channel, I'm Linda Bell with the Bloomberg Money Barometer.
Well, only a few minutes left at first. Alec, your weather today is coming up, and we'll get the details on what they're going to be talking about coming up.
It certainly feels like fall and looks like fall, too, in much of the eastern section of the nation. Your cool forecast coming up.
All these CDs have to go, so we're giving them away. That's right, we've got so many CDs in our warehouse, we're running out of room, so we're giving them away free. These CDs, they do it all. They're top-of-the-line editions of brand-name software, Home Depot, Webster's Encyclopedia, Rand McNally, and the American Medical Association, just to name a few. Names you know, names you trust, and you get them free. Video Professor partnered with these companies, and we have thousands of their CDs, but now we desperately need to make room. So call now, and we'll send you a pack of these new CDs free. Just pay the $6.95 shipping, and we'll send you $100 in great name software. What do these CDs do? What don't they do? But try this for starters. Learn secrets of the Home Depot pros, wallpapering, plumbing, carpentry, tile, insulation, and more. Then create your own home on your PC, add walls, carpets, a new addition, and see it in a 3D walkthrough. But that's not all. Create printable maps of anywhere in North America and try restaurants, hotels, and sightseeing stops along the way. Remember, this is free. How about researching almost anything in seconds? History, maps, nature, science, geography, trivia, and more. You get an encyclopedia of knowledge free when you call. Want more? How about free medical help 24 hours a day? Health information, medical emergencies, CPR, drug facts, burns, fractures, cuts, bruises, and essential information for any family. And we're giving it away. It's not priced to sell because there is no price. We'll give you the CDs, you pay for the shipping, and they're yours. It's that easy.
And welcome back to Weather Center. I'm Kristen Dodd.
And I'm Rich Johnson. It's 50 minutes past the hour. It's time for our tropical update. And usually during October, we're still somewhat busy with the tropics. Today is no different. We still have Nicholas out there, Tropical Storm Nicholas. Let's go to first a little climatology here, and meaning that over the years, where did the tropical cyclones form? Well, you can see the middle 10 days of October. They can be pretty scattered still, from the Bahamas all the way down to the east of the islands, but there's really a cluster over toward the western Caribbean Sea. So that's one area that we watch a little bit more closely. The big picture showing the past day's worth of satellite pictures here. There's Nicholas. Nicholas becoming better organized out over the open waters east of the islands. The Windward, Leeward Islands in this area here, still good ways off to the east. Here's our information, 11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Just below hurricane strength. It's close to hurricane strength, and we think it could become a minimal hurricane. Presently, it's centered 875 miles east of the Leeward Islands at 16.0 north, 48.3 west. And there's the pressure estimated. It's still a little bit too far for the aircraft to go out and investigate. Satellite photograph. This is what we call the infrared picture. The satellite looks at it, and it assigns different colors here depending on how high those cloud tops are. And usually the reds that you see here, those are most vigorous heavy showers near that circulation center. And that's what we have. And it does look like the circulation center is pretty much underneath this cloud mass here. And when that happens, it allows for some further strengthening. Visible shot here. Center of circulation right about in this area here. So the western edge, or the western semicircle of this tropical storm, is still being sheared, what we call sheared, when you have some of these upper air winds blowing some of these clouds away. Another vantage point, we call this our water vapor imagery. Again, you can see the United States, the islands right down here, and right this way, that's over toward, that's Nicholas. Look to the north. There's a big upper air low pressure center. There's one down over across the eastern Caribbean. And ahead of this trough, there's southwesterly winds blowing. And so that inhibits development. So we'll have to just wait and see on the motion of this. If the storm stays about the steady motion that it is, it may slowly develop some, or stay about the same. If it moves a little bit faster, it may hit some of these stronger winds off to the west. That may tend to cause it to weaken some. Where do we think it's going? Well, generally in a northwesterly path. Notice where the islands are. It should stay good ways off to the east of the islands. That's our thinking now. Caribbean Sea, good deal of fair skies. We've been watching, of course, areas of the western Caribbean the past few days. Some showers and storms. That's usually a hotbed of development. Nothing that important going on at the present time, though. Visible satellites showing some showers off of Costa Rica, also north of Nicaragua. And that's about it. Nothing organized. Over toward the leeward and windwards, beautiful day for you. Over toward the coast of Mexico, nothing organized either. So other than Nicholas, we're looking pretty good. Now with more on what's happening here in the States, here's Kristen.
And we are seeing some thunderstorms head across the southeast, but fortunately for Atlanta, we are seeing them kind of dwindle just a bit. So we're not looking for violent weather to come through, but some rain will be heading across Interstate 75 as you're heading out in the next couple of hours. Also some thunderstorms possible from Miami all the way up to Raleigh for later on today. You can see those lightning strikes, and again beginning to dwindle somewhat. Also a few lightning strikes around the Keys, and that's pretty much it. Now here's your vantage point from Atlanta. We had been noting those thunderstorms make their approach, and you can see they are calming down quite a bit. Now also looking at some heavier rainfall coming into the west. We've seen some soakers coming in, so new record rainfall coming into your area. At this hour though, just light rain heading across Seattle and on up into Bellingham, and that will continue to be the picture for the rest of this afternoon. So the bottom line is most areas dry, but right now some light rain in Pittsburgh. Could see a light shower or two heading into Philadelphia before the afternoon is out. So keep that in mind if you're going to be heading out for this afternoon.
All righty, coming up here at the Weather Channel, we'll have the forecast across the country, from the showers in the northeast to the rain in the northwest, also everything in between, of course.
And we're going to be checking on some changes that may be in store for you for the week ahead. That's in New York City and in your backyard. Stay with us. Local on the 8s is coming up next.
Attention all smokers. Expect fair skies Sunday through Tuesday with temperatures in the 60s on Sunday.
Welcome back to PM Edition. It's 10 minutes before the hour, and that means it's time for your tropical update. We'll start out with a little bit of climatology, and then we'll take a look at Tropical Storm Nicholas. Well, here's what we're looking at through the season, a bit of climatology for you, and you can see that the climatological peak of the hurricane season is in September, early to mid-September. We see another sort of secondary peak in October, but you can see that toward the end of the season, we typically tend to see less activity. That doesn't mean we never see activity, but we tend to see the most tropical action right here through August, September, and into October. Well, let's see what we have as far as October 11th through the 20th and the points of origin of our tropical storms and hurricanes. And you can see that some of the favored areas are here in the Caribbean and out through parts of the Atlantic. But by this point in the season, the Cape Verde season is over. So it's a little farther westward where we tend to see these systems developing. Well, we have a system that we're watching right now. It's a tropical storm, and it's Nicholas out here in the Atlantic. Here are the latest information. The latest coordinates have it centered about 860 miles east of the Leeward Islands with winds of 60 miles per hour, and it's moving toward the northwest at 8 miles per hour. The estimated pressure, 994 millibars. Here's how it looks on the satellite view, and again, it's still a tropical storm. Looks like it may stay a tropical storm. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but not expecting much of a change in strength over at least the next 24 hours. And eventually, we do think that it is going to head out to sea. So it's something to keep an eye on, sort of curiosity here, and we'll continue to keep you updated on it. But as for right now, it is well out in the Atlantic. The expected track, the projected path, takes it for the next couple of days off to the northwest, but as far as after that, we think that it may make a turn more out to sea. We'll have to keep you posted on that one, and keep checking back in with us at 50 minutes past every hour for your tropical update. Well, what about the Gulf and the Caribbean? Well, for a lot of the Caribbean, things are really pretty quiet for the Lesser Antilles in particular. Seeing some areas of showers and storms over Hispaniola and Cuba. And we're also keeping an eye on some storms here in Florida. This is the tail end of a front that extends well out to the Atlantic. And that is the focal point for some rain and some thunderstorms that we've been dealing with here in southern Florida and around the Keys. So we're still seeing a little action out there. But most of the rest of the Gulf is actually dealing with some pretty quiet weather right now. And the Eastern Pacific, not much going on here either. Well, let's see what's going on a little closer to home, and we'll start out with the big picture around the country. And really, for most of us, things are pretty quiet this evening. There are a few exceptions. We've seen rain in Pennsylvania, around Philly. Look out for some showers. Earlier, some wet weather in Atlanta that has since ended and moved over into Augusta, where we've had some thunderstorms. Rain extends back down toward Albany, and here's that front, which is more or less stationary here along the Keys, and with that, we've had some scattered showers and storms. Another front moving into the northwest, and out ahead of that, a wet time for you here in western Washington. So again, you can see on the radar that we're just not dealing with much precipitation at all, and it looks like we're in for a pretty nice weekend for most areas. Let's take a look at the Northeast and your forecast for tomorrow. And while we may see some rain in the morning hours around Boston and New York, we think that into the afternoon things will quiet down. Temperatures up into the 50s. So if you have any outdoor plans, maybe postpone them until the afternoon because it may be a little on the soggy side tomorrow morning. 58 in Philly, 61 in Washington, D.C. Now, some of the nicer weather in the country is going to be in the Southeast and in the Midwest. 70 in Atlanta, 77 in New Orleans and Houston, and 76 in Dallas. Lots of sunshine to go around, so if you have any plans outdoor tomorrow, maybe some fall festivals going on this weekend, you really couldn't ask for better weather. And it's a similar situation here through the Midwest with 71 in St. Louis, 76 for Kansas City, and 67 for Chicago. So lots of sunshine to go around. It just looks like a fantastic day for you here in the plains in the Midwest. Look at Denver, up to 85 tomorrow. Farther west, one of the exceptions to our nice weather tomorrow is going to be in Seattle. We're expecting rain there, but everyone else in the west should see pretty quiet weather.
There's much more to come on the second hour of PM Edition. We'll take a look ahead to your weekend and beyond in the Weekly Planner.
Stay with us. We'll be back after your local on the 8th.
Where's the presentation?
Atlanta.
An F4 twist.